The government this week laid out a plan to build an extra 1.2 million homes in the next 5 years to 2029. It'll spend $3 billion, but are effectively grants to the state governments to free up land and allow the extra development. But many in the property industry say with a fast-growing population and a construction industry in the midst of a financial crisis, we're already way behind the target. Cameron Kusher is the Executive Manager of Economic Research at REA Group and joins me now. Cam, always good to chat to you about this. To me, this scheme, the maths doesn't add up. They simply can't build houses fast enough at this rate and get them approved to meet this target.
Yeah, I agree, Ross. I think, it's good to have aspirational targets. I think 1 million was already quite aspirational and unlikely to be achieved. And I think it's going to be very tough, if not close to impossible, to build 1.2 million houses over the 5 years to 2029. As you said, we've got to build a significant number of homes, 240,000 homes every single year. We've never consistently gone close to building that many homes. So do we even have the capacity to build this much? Finance-wise, do we have the finance to allow developers and construction companies to build this? This would have been a lot easier when the interest rates were down, the cash rate was down at 0.1%. The cash rate, of course, is up at 4.1%. So getting finance to do this is equally difficult at the moment. So it's good to have a target, but this by no means means that this is actually going to come to fruition.
All right. Now, the thing about this is if you consider that you want to build $1.2 billion worth of homes over a period of 5 years, the average home in Australia about $750,000. The maths to me says you're trying to build close on $1 trillion worth of homes over that period of time. And as you point out, where does that $1 trillion come from? Because the government itself has said, we'll put in $3 billion, an absolute drop in the bucket to try and encourage state governments to open up land to allow this building to take place.
It's right. I mean, you look at how is this going to be funded? Where are the buyers going to come from as well? Like 1.2 million homes, we haven't got any details on what percentage is going to be affordable, social, community housing, what percentage is going to be built to rent, what's going to be built to sell. But I also don't know where the buyers for these properties are going to come from. One of the big challenges for developers at the moment is that the cost of new housing is very high. And for a lot of buyers, they look at that differential between the cost of new and the cost of existing. And it's a very hard argument to make why you would pay that additional amount for a new home. And that's going to continue to be a problem as we move through this target over the next 5 years.
OK, there's another big fundamental bit of economics about this. Nobody builds a home as a developer unless there is a profit at the end. And that profit has to be pretty decent because economic conditions can change. You might have to discount whatever it might be. And so, therefore, we know right now developers are not building properties because they can't make money.
Exactly. I mean, most developers are publicly listed or they're private companies with shareholders trying to make a return. And the truth of the matter is, if we relax zoning laws and allow more development on inner city sites, the value of that site goes up. I think the other point is you actually have to get hold of this land. So this land can be rezoned to a higher density, but that doesn't necessarily mean that someone's going to go and build it. And if developers or whoever owns these properties thinks that the value of that land will continue to rise over a number of years, they may not even be prepared to take that to the market now. They might wait until they can get a better return. So there's a lot of question marks here. I think it's great to have this aspiration to build more homes, and we should build more homes, but there might be some additional levers that they really need to pull to get this to come to fruition.
OK, so is this the way you believe to take pressure off housing affordability?
Well, more housing supply should reduce the increase in property prices and potentially reduce property prices. But again, politically, do politicians really want property prices to be lower? Because, more people own a home than don't own a home. And for most people, their home is their largest single asset.
I'll tell you what, Cameron Kusher, always good to have you on the program, and many thanks for your time today.